Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to see SOSL queries in Salesforce. So we have two ways to perform a query for in a database in Salesforce, that is using SOQL, and one is using SOSL. So we are going to see we are going to understand basics of SOSL, and then we are going to see what is the difference in the syntax of SOSL in Apex or while querying in API. So let's start with the basics. So we use SOSL. So SOSL is Salesforce Object Search Language to construct text-based search queries against a search index. So we have an index, we have some value, and we want to search it in some objects or fields, and we are not sure we don't know which object or field the data resides in. So then the use case is to use SOSL. So we can search text fields, email fields, phone fields for multiple objects, including custom objects, uh, and we can access them in a single query. So the basic syntax of SOSL query is find the search query, that is the index which we want to find in the fields and in the objects. Then we have an optional search group clause. So we can provide the search group like in all fields, in name fields, in email fields. Then we have to provide in the table name, that is account, contact, and the fields we want the SOSL to return. So, and then we have some optional clauses, that is where snippet, where network, where price book ID. So you can check those in the documentation for more details. So the search groups in SOSL are all fields, email fields, name fields, phone fields, and sidebar fields. So we can provide these search groups, and we can search our term in using any of these in any of these search groups for an object. So now let's discuss the difference between the find clause in the Apex code or while writing it in API. The syntax of find clause in Apex differs from the syntax of find clause in SOAP API and REST API. So in Apex, the value of the find clause is demarcated with single quotes. So you can see an example that we want to search this map string in all fields of account, contact, opportunity, and lead. So, but the map field is demarcated with single quotes, while in the API, when we are querying using API, that is the SOAP API, REST API, we are demarcating it with curly braces. So this is one difference that we should consider while doing it in Apex and API. So I'll quickly go to my org and I'll show you. So this is my org, and I have this account where in the description I have this mapping. So if I if I run the query, which I have shown in the previous slide, so this account record would be returned. So I'll go to the developer console, and you can see in the developer console, we have this query editor. In the query editor, you know that it uses API to do the query. So since it is using API, we are demarcating the search term with the curly braces. So if I click on execute, I am getting this result, the ID and the name in the account. Now, if I click on debug, if I open the execute anonymous window, so I have this SOSL query written. So the SOSL query returns a list of S object. Uh, so the list of S object would contain the account, contact, opportunity, and lead. In this case, we only have the value for account, so the other list would be empty. So in this case, if I demarcate it with the curly braces and I click on execute, so I'll get an error. So also the map is a keyword in Apex, so we can't simply use the curly braces. So we have to demarcate it inside a single quotes. So now when I demarcated it in the single quotes and I click on execute, I'll get the results. So if I click on debug, so you can see I got the results. So that's all for today's session. So do subscribe to the channel for more such videos and more such content in the future.